Good evening, everyone, colleagues, friends. Imeramat Kaur, wow, I've heard you the second time. Incredible. In 3 languages, you present your case, and what a wonderful way that you do that. So critical. Keep doing what you're doing, dear. Waheguru. This is what community feels like, right here. When we come together and we talk, and we speak of those things that ail us, that challenge us, that are confronting us now, and standing together. But before I begin, let me first acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional and unceded lands of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation, where we always be mindful that reconciliation begins with truth, and truth demands courage. It's an honor for me to stand with the World Sikh Organization. You've been there standing for rights, calling for inclusion, pushing Canada to live up to its promise. We meet tonight at a time when the Sikh voice, our voice, matters more than ever. Because what we're seeing across Canada is deeply concerning. We are seeing hate rising again, anti-Sikh discrimination that tries to question our belonging, our loyalty, our right to speak out. We are seeing attempts to silence or intimidate those who raise legitimate concerns about human rights. And we're seeing Canada, our country, our nation, being tested on whether it will stand or whether it will waver. That is why gatherings like this matter. And Baltej Singh said it right. We are living the pages of history in this moment. Because our story, the Sikh story in Canada, it's been forged through struggle. It's been forged through service. And belonging has been earned through contribution, not received freely. When I joined the RCMP, I didn't set out to make history. I just wanted to serve. But when I asked to wear my turban while serving, I was told no. That no was not simply about a uniform regulation. It was about who was deemed Canadian enough. And in those early years, I learned a vital lesson. Inclusion is not a given. It is a demand, it is a fight, and it is a responsibility. And I've said before that inclusion is not charity. It is the minimum standard of a just society. When I was finally sworn in, I said that moment was not my victory, it was Canada's. Because Canada proved it could grow into itself. And I want to acknowledge that WSO was there in that fight. When the case was taken to court and the RCMP commissioner's decision to change the RCMP dress policy was challenged, the WSO was there. But inclusion is not a destination we unpack once and then we forget about. It is something we must continually earn, renew, and defend. And today, that work remains unfinished. Let us speak plainly about what we are seeing, folks. Anti-Sikh hate is not a relic of the past. It is now, it is here. We see it when Sikhs are labeled extremists for simply caring about human rights in Punjab. We see it when gurdwaras are vandalized. We see it when community leaders are harassed online. We see it when institutions look at Sikhs with suspicion rather than partnership. This is not about feelings. It's not about feelings. It's not our feelings that are getting hurt here. This is about our dignity. It's about safety. Every time a Sikh Canadian wonders if they are, quote unquote, too Sikh or not, quote unquote, Canadian enough. that is exactly the very moment that this nation, our home, Canada, loses. There's no contradiction, absolutely zero, being a proud Sikh and a proud Canadian. It goes hand in hand. Those identities do not compete, they complete each other. There's an additional dimension we must name. The economic dimension of intimidation, and those of us who are living it now in BC, in Toronto, and other places of this nation. In recent years, in those cities, in Surrey, in Toronto, and elsewhere, South Asian business owners, including many Sikh entrepreneurs, have found themselves under threat. Extortion demands, acts of violence, arson, intimidation. These are not isolated incidents. They reflect a pattern of organized criminal networks operating with impunity, targeting a community that has built businesses, homes, and livelihoods in this country. We must call this by its name. This is not random crime. This is a coordinated campaign of economic terrorism. When your property, your livelihood, or your sense of safety is under attack because of who you are or what you advocate for, that is a threat to Canada's very idea of fairness and belonging. It is completely the opposite of everything that we stand for and hold true and fight for every day in this country. And let us be honest, this is not a mystery, folks. We have heard it from our Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau. He said it clearly in the House of Commons. And the RCMP has plainly stated, and let me be absolutely clear on what has been said so far, that Indian agents are collecting intelligence on Sikhs in Canada, sending it back to intelligence agencies in India who are recruiting gangs and organized crime groups in Canada to carry out acts of violence and economic terrorism against Sikhs. That is what we know. It's not an opinion. It's not a guess. It's not an assumption. That is what we know. And it cannot be said more plainly. This is transnational repression. It is happening now, and it is urgent. Many in our community know that agents of foreign government have for years, not months, years, been active in Canada. Canada has previously expelled Indian diplomats over concerns about clandestine activity. 23 pierced the raw truth. Even in Canada, for some, simply speaking out, simply belonging becomes dangerous. This is not a Sikh issue. Let me repeat that. This is not a Sikh issue. This is a Canadian issue. Because if a foreign power can reach inside our borders, kill one of us, someone who believed in Canada, then no one is truly safe. Canada's sovereignty is not for sale. Its citizens are not bargaining chips. When we allow silence or delay in the face of such intimidation, we send the message that rights are conditional, not core. Our presence in Canada's national conversation is not accidental, folks. It is historical. From the early forests of British Columbia to offices, classrooms, and the Senate floor, Sikhs have helped build this country. But strengthening our voice today means more than being present. It means being purposeful. We need to be in the rooms where decisions are made. Decisions are being made on security, on foreign affairs, on the economy, and on culture. And we need to bring our lens, grounded in dignity, anchored in empathy, and shaped by experience. When we raise concerns about hate or foreign interference, we're not outsiders criticizing Canada. We are insiders. We are Canadians insisting Canada live up to itself. As we prepare to mark the martyrdom anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, I want to reflect on what that means for us. Guru Sahib Ji gave his life not for a singular community, but for the right of others to believe and belong. Isn't that what WSO is doing? Standing up for all, not just Sikh issues, but all Canadian issues in every corner where someone is being victimized, being oppressed, or being seen as less. WSO has stood with them. And that's what we as Sikhs do. That is the legacy of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj and all of our Gurus. His sacrifice reminds us that justice is universal, that courage is universal, and that standing for others is not optional in the Sikh tradition. It is required. We cannot look away. In our work ahead, combating hate, advancing inclusion, defending Canada's sovereignty, we carry that legacy. That's us. We're doing that work. We have to do that work. We do so not only for Sikhs, but for all Canadians who believe in fairness, dignity, and a respectful society. And that is exactly what WSO has been doing for decades. Our tradition does not teach silence in the face of injustice. Quite the opposite, actually. It teaches speaking the truth. So when you wear your dastar, when you put on your uniform in the morning, when you say, I am a Sikh, and you step outside that door, and you walk into the community and into the country, you have no choice but to uphold the values of the Sikh, because at that very moment, you're no longer Baltej Singh, you're no longer Sukh Taliwal, you're no longer Radeep Singh, you are a Sikh, held to account to Sikh principles. That's the job, that's the work, that's the duty. And let me say this clearly, and Sardar Kalaji said it himself. Our goal is not to build walls, it is to build bridges. We need our partners across communities, Muslim, Hindu, Jewish, Christian, Indigenous. We need to stand with them, and we need them to stand with us. Because hate and intimidation never stops with one community. If it starts with Sikhs today, it will be someone else tomorrow. And yes, it is important that we build and strengthen our community. And we should do that with India as well. But not until we have guarantees from the government of India. A guarantee that there will be justice for Hardeep Singh Nijjar. A guarantee that those responsible will be held accountable. A guarantee that the targeting, the harassment, and violence against Sikhs in Canada will end. That's what we need. And that is absolutely our right, and that is a duty of this nation to fulfill. And that there will be genuine intelligence sharing that allows the RCMP to stop those who are engaged in a campaign of violence. So, where do we go from here? Well, folks, we keep showing up. That's the first job. We keep showing up. Keep standing tall. Keep using your voice. Keep using these platforms. Keep using your positions. And we keep serving. We remind Canada that our identity is not a threat, it is an asset. that our inclusion is not a concession, it is our right, and that our continued presence is Canada's strength, and that our resilience, it's not about anger, it's about hope and for a better Canada. As an independent senator, I hope to carry the spirit and resilience of our community into the work I do every day. One of the Senate's most important responsibilities is to defend the Constitution, protect rights, and give a voice to those who are often underrepresented. And in that spirit, I want you to see my office as your own. And I've said this many, many times. This is not my senatorship. This is the community's senatorship. This is not my office. It's your office. It's our office. This office is an extension of this community and a place where your concerns, your hopes, and your struggles are not only heard, but carried into the national conversation. I will do my utmost to represent all of us and all of you with honesty, with courage, and humility in that august chamber. Canada is at its best when every citizen stands tall. We have young people here today. One of them started to wear his turban today. Would you stand up, son? Today is his first day wearing his dastar. Stand up. Here we go. That's Canada. Where you feel proud that today and every day I'm going to wear my dastar, my identity, who I am, and carry that with me without fear, but with pride, without concern, but with support and recognition. When we all stand tall, when we speak our truth, and when we know that we are safe in doing so, that's when Canada is at its best. Let us continue to be that voice. Calm, principled, and unwavering. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji